Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lynn, and I am delighted to have you here this morning with me, or whenever you might be watching this video. Usually, I let my videos release at midnight because you just never know. Now, most of the people who watch my channel are in the U.S., but you don't ever know. So I like to release it at midnight, and I think that's midnight Pacific. I don't know. I have to look at that when I go to upload this video. But anyway, so for a minute, I have been telling y'all about my love of hand knitting socks and how since I began, I want to say about 7, 8 years ago, that I don't wear store-bought socks anymore. I have no need for it. And you're about to see why I have no need for it. But, sorry, hold on 1 second. I have this little cushion on this chair because that's the one downside of trying to lose that weight. It's so much better on my knees. And now that I've hit that, my knees love it. But because, for 90% of my life, I've been on the thinner side. And yes, once I quit smoking, I did gain weight. And when I was going through a lot of the stresses a year or so ago with the job, I put on a good bit of weight too. So it was very unusual for my body to be able to tote the extra weight. Now, people couldn't believe that I weighed as much as I did because I have a larger frame. I mean, I have wide shoulders and wide hips, which the wide hips came in handy when I found out I was pregnant with twins. So I can't fuss about it. But anyway, the one drawback to actually hitting my goal weight is my butt bone is skinny again, and I don't have a whole lot of padding anymore. And that's been like that most of my life. It was so funny because I could never sit on my husband's lap because I was too bony, my butt bone and all that fun stuff. He's like, nope, I love you, but no. Anyway, so if I have to do some adjusting, I do apologize. I need to get a different cushion for this chair because this is just I can't remember where I got this desk chair from. I know I gave it to one of my sons for years. And we actually bought him a new gaming chair for his birthday this past January. So I ended up getting this chair back from him so that I could use it. But anyway, I do have a padded desk chair that I let my husband use. Yeah, well, I love the men in my family. Anyway, so I have been talking to y'all a lot about my love of hand knit socks. And so I figured, and it took a while to get all this moved into here. Now, I was going to film this in my bedroom where I have that neat little skinny chest of drawers, that's a chest of drawers. I have 2 different ring lights. But the bad thing about ring lights for me, sorry, I hit my microphone. The bad thing about ring lights for me personally is my glasses. I don't like to see the reflection of ring lights because then you can't see the person's eyes. So I brought all my socks out here And I brought all my yarn. So there will be yarn. Lots and lots of yarn. But first, I wanted to show y'all. Now this is not all my socks. I'm just telling you that now. And it's definitely not all the socks I've made, because I made each of my son's socks. I made my husband's socks. I made my daughter-in-law's socks. I made my grandson's socks, which, by the way, I need to get moving on that. But my daughter-in-law, she's quick to tell me that she has trouble keeping track of socks. So maybe not yet. Maybe, because hand knit socks, even for a child, they take time. And my grandson, he's only 4, so he can't keep track of things himself yet. When he gets a little bit older, I think it'll be better for him to be able to keep track of his stuff. I'm teaching him here that his shoes belong in a certain place, because when he gets to Grandma and Papa's house, he gets comfy. Them shoes come off, those socks come off. Sometimes the shorts and pants come off to where he just running around here with his t-shirt and his underwear. I don't care. I raised boys. I'm used to that. And it's not like anybody coming in my house will look at my grandson funny, or they won't ever leave my house. I'm just saying. And I won't apologize for that. So anyway, but I don't hang around them type of people. Those are not people in my life, so I don't have to worry about that. So whenever he tries to when he sheds his clothing, whether it be his socks, shoes, pants, whatever, he has a little place underneath a end table in my living room, to where I tell him, you put your shoes under there, you put your socks inside your shoes. You want your pants off, fold them up and put them on top of the table above your shoes. Now, that's not me being a mean grandma. That's me just offering the baby some structure, to where, okay, these are certain things that you do at Grandma's house. Like, he knows he does not eat in my living room. If he eats or drinks, it needs to be in my kitchen. Not because my house is so terrific, or my carpet needs to be replaced, sorely replaced, but it's habits I want to instill in him, at least at my house. I have no control of what my son and my daughter-in-law do at their house, but at Grandma's house, there's certain rules, Of course, there's a lot of fun, not saying that, but my boys were very happy with the way they were raised, and they tell me how much they appreciate the things I've done. So I don't mind passing that on to my grandson. Yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, so I do want to get started. I did ask. Now, for those of you that are new, I'm sorry if I'm talking about stuff that you don't have any reference to, unless you've gone back and watched my videos. It's not like I have a whole lot of videos. I'm fairly new here. I just started in March, I think, maybe. Yeah. I mean, I've been crocheting and knitting for 20 some odd years, but just for the YouTube channel. Anyway, random thoughts, they just pop in, so I have to say them. I did say in one of my other videos that I was talking about with my son, the quote unquote younger twin by 30 seconds. Sorry, give me 1 second. I know I normally don't drink Dr. Pepper, but sometimes you just have to. I'm filming this later in the day than I normally do, because normally I do fit the name of my channel, Daybreak. I mean, because that's when I'm up, that's when I'm the most active, that's when I'm the most energetic. But I'm going to be getting my grandson because it's my daughter-in-law's birthday this weekend, and my son wants to take her to the mountains and celebrate her birthday. And I'm keeping my grandson, so I need to hurry up and get this done, this filmed, so that I can spend my weekend focused on him. Now, that's not to say that I won't film anything with him here. It just depends. If he wants to be a participant, I might. I don't know yet. But I wanted to keep my weekend free to where I didn't have any work stuff that I needed to do so that I could focus on him. Because with me having been sick for the last couple weeks, I've kept away from them, even though they were the ones that think they gave it to me. I needed to be 100% by the weekend of her birthday. So, yeah. Anyway, so finally, socks. Like I said, excuse me. The one bad thing about Dr. Pepper that maybe makes me burp. All right. So I'm going to show you a little bit different sock. Actually, I'm going to save those for a minute. Now, it's been about a year and a half. No. Before that last job stressed me out to the point to where I had to leave. I was knitting a lot at work. And I want to say, let me find it. I think this was my absolute last pair of socks I knit. I think so. And I love these. I think these are Patons, Patons. I think this is one of theirs. It feels like, and I'm looking over here because all my yarn is right here. I stacked it all up on that. Y'all remember when I said I reorganized my yarn stash? Well, I have this empty rack now, so I put all that sock yarn on it. But it honestly, it feels like a Patton's Croy, honestly. The texture of it. It doesn't bother me to wear it because I have peripheral neuropathy, so I don't have any feeling in my feet. But I can tell the texture difference in my hands. Now, this is a little bit rougher of a yarn, but this is a workhorse yarn. Let me tell you, this yarn will just keep on kicking. Now, I don't remember the colorway. I don't remember any of the details on this. I was actually watching another podcaster. I'm new to watching her. Her name is Natalie. It's called Nitty Natty. Nitty, and then Natty. Okay? That either has to be my son's dog or my kitty cat. But something was knocking on a wall, a floor, or something. And I'm here alone, so. Anyway, she kind of gave me an idea. I don't think I'm going to do it, but it's food for thought. She puts projects in her Ravelry page, that way she could keep track of the pattern, the yarn, the colorway name, when she did it. And don't know if I would do that. It's given me some food for thought. I'm not going to dismiss it out of hand. Y'all know I do not mind learning new stuff from new people. I just don't know if there's a need for it in my crafting, in my making. But it would help for things like this. But anyway, I love the different colorways. Y'all know I am a blue and purple girl all day, every day. And this has blends of all of it. When I seen this in the ball, now I do like the self-patterning yarns because I knit plain vanilla socks. The only one there's two sock patterns I do. I do just a plain vanilla, and I do uh, a form of short row heel. Now I have seen a lot of people use fish lips kiss. I think fish kiss lips. One of those variations. That's the name of the heel type, and I've never bought her pattern, so I don't know if I would like it. But that's the only type heel I use, is just a variation of a short row heel. Um, and then I do a Kitchener bind off, which I think they call it something different now. Can't remember. I know the name, something grafting, but the name just literally flew out of my brain. But anyway, so I think this was my latest pair. Now, I'm just going to kind of go through and show y'all what I've got. Let me move these to the side. Oh, so that was my vanilla sock. And then the other sock pattern I have used on a solid color, and it's the Hermione's sock pattern from Harry Potter. I love this because I love the little textured look you get, and I'm hoping that you can see it. And I will, this is probably my default when I use solid colors. But as you will see, in fact, I will show you. Oh, see? Another Hermione's. Gee, imagine that. Blue and purple. Which, this is probably more deep teal than blue, but it's in the family. So, those are my Hermione socks. And those, those are the only solid colors I did in Hermione. Now, I did these two socks, but these are not your typical sock yarns. I thought I might have, yes. See, I knew I had it. Hold on. Let me try to do this without yanking all of this yarn off the rack behind me. Ha 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 ha. Okay, so these are made with Amazing Lace by Lion Brand. And it is 70% acrylic and 30% nylon. So these are not even wool. These are the only socks I have that do not have some sort of wool and nylon blend. But they're so super soft to where I was scared it wouldn't show the stitch pattern with the Hermione's. But again, blues. And it's so funny because that's not too far off. um, I, I tend to like my colors that I like. So anyway, I had a blue. My best friend sent me these from Kansas, I believe. No, this one's wrong. That one's wrong. Sorry. I bought these and made her this color. I made her a pair, and then I made me a pair, and then I bought this color for me. Because, you know, she's not really big, huge into blue, but, um, so, in fact, I think I have, yep, see? And this was almost, ooh, this was almost a full skein. You know what? I think I bought two of these. So they're the Amazing Lace by Lion Brand. I don't know if they still offer this. I bought these ages ago. They're 5.3 ounces, 1,017 yards. They are a number one lace weight. Actually, it's a one, but they call it super fines, and that's pretty much a lace weight. Now I'm going to put these back. I do apologize for not being on the camera. But anyway, now, ow, having technical difficulties. Anyway, most of these sock yarns that I've made into socks already are things you can get at box stores. I have gotten at Hobby Lobby on some of their clearance sales. I've gotten them at Joann's. I think I picked up, no, I was about to say, I think I picked some up at Michael's, but that was, excuse me, that was, a yarn for the knitted knockers. Though I did go in there looking for sock yarn, I seen that they had the Peyton's Grace that I do for knitted knockers. So anyway, that was it for my solid color socks. Now I do have more. I have more yarn that's solid colors, but like I've told y'all, usually I will do. I save solid colors for when I do a heel toe or cuff, you know, type thing. Um, so it's kind of hit or miss. Now, I'm just going to kind of show you. Some of these are super, super fuzzy. And the thing I don't like when choosing sock yarns, and I wish I'd had like a sweater trimmer to trim all the fuzzies off, but I wear my socks on a daily basis. So they get a lot of wear. Um, and I don't mind a little bit of peeling, a little bit of pilling, a little bit of fuzzy, but sometimes, and I don't. Okay, let me classify. Let me clarify one thing. I am all for simplicity. I wash and dry all my socks. I know. I hear a lot of people gasping and clutching their pearls, but just rest assured, I love the process of knitting socks. So if I did damage my socks or wear them out too quickly, I will knit me some more. um, I love the convenience, and I have yet to have a pair of socks felt on me. And I've used a wide variety of brands. I haven't had any hand washed. I mean, sorry, that Dr. Pepper's getting to me and making me burp. I've not had any hand dyed yarns, specialty yarns that I've made socks with that I've had to worry about that. So anyway, I don't remember all of the makers of these. Um, this one, I love this sock. I love this color because it fits about 3 or 4 different outfits that I have. Um, it was, I want to say it was one of those Deborah Norville sock yarns. Premier, the Premier sock yarns. And I'm wanting to say this was Coastal or Chili. I don't know. But it is by far, they don't make it anymore. If y'all can find this anywhere, send me a link, please. I want to remake these socks. These are not my first pair, but these are probably six. This is one of my first 6 months of knitting socks. This was one of them. So it is catching a beating. And I'm not wearing them a whole lot right now because of the fact I don't have a replacement yarn that I love as much as this colorway. So if you do find that, like I said, it was a Premier yarn. I'm wanting to say it was Deborah Norville's Serenity sock yarn, maybe. It was in that line. I don't know if it was Serenity, but I know it was in her sock line. So if you find it, send it to me. And this is the same way. Um, I like these colors, but it's not like I need another one of these balls. But it's the same line. And I bought a few of these colors because that's what my Joann's had that day. And I'm wanting to say I am wrong. As far as I think it was only 3 pair. Oh, I will show y'all real quick. All right, so it is Premier Yarns, Deborah Norville, so I was right. The Serenity sock weight yarn. And this one, okay, this one is chilly. Sorry about that. So this one was chilly. Okay. So if you can find this sock yarn in this colorway, and I think it was Coastal or something along those lines, I would love beach, ocean, something. Send me a link because I desperately am looking for that. I'm going to put that back over there for a moment. So, and then they had this one, which I made a little bitty. Now, most of mine are a little taller than ankle socks. Um, they come about 2 or 3 inches above my ankle bone. So that's where I prefer to have my socks. But this one right here, I didn't have any solid colors to make cuffs, toes, and heels with. So I just said, well, I'll just make me a little short set of ankle socks. But unfortunately for me, these hit right at my ankle bone. And I don't like that look for me. For one, with my legs, I have, it's like, my daughter-in-law says she didn't understand it because usually it's for people who's, you know, very overweight, which even at my heaviest, I was probably only 20 pounds overweight, um, according to my body, what the standard is. But anyway, I was actually 40 pounds over what my body was used to. But so anyway, um, either very heavy people or old people. And I know I'm 53 years old, but this has been like this for 15 years. So I was only in my 30s when it started showing up that it's like blood, not like a reddish purple around my ankles and such. So I'm not really sure what that was, but it started, and I don't like showing that, even though sometimes over the years it has gotten to where it goes a little bit higher than my socks now, but there's nothing I can do about that. All right. Oh, I want to save that sock for a minute. Okay. So another Peyton's Croy. I loved this colorway, and I wear this sock quite often because most of my wardrobe has blue or gray in it. One of those variations. Um, this one, all right, and here I did a solid toe and heel. I didn't do a cuff, but I was trying to make this yarn. I think I only had one 50-gram ball. So I can make a 50-gram ball, make two of my shoe size, most of the time it's anywhere from an 8 to 8.5 women's in US. So usually I can make one 50-gram ball and I can make me a pair of socks because of the height that I use and my circumference of my foot. But anyway, I I like these socks. When I was knitting them up, I was very hesitant. I was like, I don't know if I like this colorway, but and I do wear them. They don't get as much action as my blues, but I do wear them. Sometimes I will wear it with red because it does have red tones in it, and then but most of the time I wear it with purple when these purples don't match or this purple don't match. Now this is another fuzzy one that ended up being fuzzy, and as you can see, I should have used solid toes, solid cuffs, and solid heels because I ran out of yarn. But I don't mind that because nobody sees that part of it anyway. And I really like this because, like I said, I like gray t-shirts, and then I have a lot of bulldog shirts, right? So that comes in with the red. Now we're going to talk about one because I said the word, so I'm going to go ahead and show you. I did some color work on my first pair of socks, and I made this little pattern because I wanted to transition from black to red. And I wanted some of the black to be up in the red and some of the red to be in the black. Now, I love these socks. When I'm decked out in my Georgia colors, these are the socks I go to. I'll have my Georgia shirt on and either black pants or black shorts, these, and my Georgia Bulldog colored tennis shoes. um, these were very fun to knit, but you have to be so careful. Let me see. When you're knitting and you're carrying color like that, you have to make sure your floats. Oh, I got fuzz inside there. But you have to make sure you leave room for your floats, right? Now, I was very hesitant to do this because I tell you, I have peripheral neuropathy, we've established that. So when I'm putting socks and shoes on, I can't feel what my toes are doing. So I have to very carefully put these on my feet, not because I messed up the floats, but I don't want my toenails to snag or my toe to snag a float. But I tried to keep them, I don't know if you can see that. I tried to keep them fairly short in between. Now I could have went a little further down, but I didn't want my floats, I didn't want to have to carry my floats too terribly long. And being as how it was my first time ever trying to carry yarn like that, I was very hesitant to push my boundaries, right? Now we're just going into more of the vanilla sock patterns. Another Croy, I think. I might be wrong on this one. This might be Regia. RGA. I mean, REGIA. This might be one of theirs. It kind of feels like it. It's not as thick as the Croy. Now, see, y'all see a theme with my with my socks? I am drawn to blues. I'm just drawn to them. And I know most of these probably would not peel up and fuzz up if I didn't if I hand washed them, but it's all right. I don't mind. Now this one, I'm wondering if this might be this one, and I don't have a way to tell. It has some of the same colors in it. This one feels thinner, so this one might be the Lion brand Mani Pedi. I'm thinking it is. Yeah, I'm thinking it is. And it's another one of those that I love. Now this, I know this one is Lion brand Mani Pedi. It is so soft. It's even softer than this one. Um, I don't know how, but because they're the same thing, just different colorways. And these, unfortunately, do fuzz up a lot after you wash them. But these are also very heavily worn socks, so I'm not surprised. I do need to get one of those sweater trimmer thingies so that I can trim these down and make them look a little bit more pristine. And this is another, it feels like Mani Pedi, but I don't think it is. It's fuzzy like that. I don't remember. Um, and this is another one. This is the same brand. I don't think it's Mani Pedi, but it's the same brand as this one because you'll notice the colorways are very similar. This is more blue and this is more aqua and light teal. And I did do gray toes and heels for these, and it actually worked out perfect that the gray I have matched it. And it was those grays that I had from when I made my son, my younger twins, socks out of, that I made him throughout his whole college career. um, and then on this one, I used black for the toe and heels. Now this is super fuzzy. I don't know if you're able to see how fuzzy that puppy is, but it's super fuzzy. So I definitely do need to get something to trim these up. And this is that gray I was telling you about. This is that Deborah. Oh, it's another solid. But I didn't do the Hermione with this one. I don't know why. But see, I mean, it holds up good. There's no fuzzy, there's no peeling, you know. I mean, there's some subtle, looks like it's trying to maybe peel a little bit. It's not enough to where I can pick them off yet. And these I've had, let's see, I want to say since 21. No, maybe 20. So they've been about 4 years old. Um, Now, I saved this and I saved these. Okay. These right here were so much fun to knit up. And I love self-patterning yarns and self-striping yarns to knit my socks because I do use the vanilla sock pattern. But I had so much fun with this. Now, these are not exact twins. Um, they're very similar, but they're not twins. This is, oh, hold on. Let me see. All right. Okay. So I have the remainder over here. Zauberball. Let's see if I can get that close enough to where you can see it. Zauberball Crazy. And I really enjoyed this thing. These come in 100-gram balls. And it literally comes in a ball. It's even in the name, Zauberball. I was trying to see. Okay, here we go. 75%. I'm going to read the English in parentheses. It says strong quality superwash. And then 25% polymid. So it says 75% virgin wool, 25% nylon. So yeah. But that right there was so much fun. And you see, I have enough, I could do a solid toe and heel and be able to make a whole nother sock. Sorry about that. Looked like something was on the lens of my camera. I think I got it. But anyway, so this was so much fun. I really enjoyed knitting these socks up. I haven't had a whole huge amount of time that I've worn them because they're definitely unique as far as their colorway. Now, I could wear them with anything blue, gray, but when I told y'all that I got that that new little chest that I put all my socks and my sock yarn in, my future socks, this one didn't get transferred to that. So it was actually sitting in my old sock drawer. Oops. Along with these. Now, these were probably maybe my second pair of socks that I ever knit. And I was gifted sock yarn. That's what got me into knitting socks. I was gifted sock yarn. Um, that someone just didn't want. And you see this colorway. I knitted it up and I said, if I come across a t-shirt with these colors in it, I will wear them. So far, I haven't worn them. Now, if I were to hijack one of my sons, my pipe fitter son, if I were to hijack one of his high vis work shirts, I probably could wear it. Actually, I think I need a high vis shirt just to have one. I wouldn't mind one in that yellow or green or whatever they call that, and pink. Pink, because that would be so awesome. That would look, either one of them would look great with a tan too, right? Then I could wear these socks. Now, these babies have errors and they have uneven stitching. But now I will say one thing. I was still knitting with double pointed needles. Now, I've already showed y'all, I knit, blah, 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 blah. I knit with 9-inch circulars now. But these were back when I did the DPNs. And it's very hard to knit even on DPNs when you're first starting. Because to me, I didn't have bad super ladders, but I can see there's ladders, I can see them. And in all honesty, these have never been washed. They're still, and this was that Regia. Very old Regia. So it's kind of rough feeling to me. Now, I've used Regia and it's not rough feeling. Some of the older ones, like, and I'm talking old, that was probably, honestly, that was probably like an 80s, 70, 80s colorway. I mean, it's that old. And this is another one of one of my first ones. Now, I was getting better. And another thing, I don't know if you can tell. No. Well, I can tell where I was doing those abbreviated short rows or variation of short rows. My short rows have gotten better. And even this one, I can see some of the improvements I was already making to my short rows. So I did those. And then this was another yarn that I got done that I got given to me with those this one and then that bright yellow one. And I want to say I knit this up later. Maybe. No, because I could still see some of the early mistakes I was making with that short row. So, yeah. I knit this up. These are not my colors. But surprisingly, I have worn these more times than I ever thought I would. Especially when I'm wearing something darker or, more in the autumn, in those colors that I've worn. And I actually wore them a few times this past December when I was delivering for UPS. Because, I mean, tell me that don't scream UPS colors, right? But we had to wear, they said we couldn't wear any patterned shirts or t-shirts or any logos and stuff like that. So I wore those too. All right. So these socks right here, these were, because I had like 2 or 3 balls of this colorway. And I know it looks weird because it's shaped so funny. I did use different toes and heels on these, but as you can see, I had to use longer toe sections because I was running out of yarn of this color. Uh, in fact, these are two separate balls. They were the remainder of two separate balls. But I did an inverted sole on these. And if all my knitter people out here, if you knit socks, you know, people have talked about the bumps on the inside of the soles. So if you do the inverted sole, and you can see my line here, the stockinette stitch is actually inside the bottom of the foot. And then the purl bumps are on the outside. So this was a test run to see if I could do an inverted sole. Because the son that I made a lot of socks for, so both my sons liked the knitted socks. My quote unquote older twin prefers Nike socks. Okay, I get it. But and you know, this was college time for them. This was back in like 2016. So you know, I'm not going to force this on anybody. So I did make him and my daughter-in-law a couple pair, but uh, the other twin that went to college, well, Adam went to Mississippi originally and then came back and went to USC Aiken. But my other one, you went to USC Columbia. And it's that one that I was knitting all the socks for. So I asked him, what did he think about an inverted sole, right? And he loved it. He wanted me to try it. So I said, okay. So I tried it out on this, and I liked how it worked up. It looks funny. Um, and his I made shorter than mine because he wanted just the cuff slightly above his ankle. The other son, Adam, wanted no shows. Now, those worked up super fast and super easy. Um, but Austin, he wanted, you know, some ankle cuff. So I made him some inverted soles on that, and he loved them. So that's the only way I made his socks from there on out. I did ask him recently if he wanted me to make him some more because I haven't made him any since, I want to say 2021 maybe. It's been a hot minute. Okay, sorry about that. I am going to go ahead and cut the video here. Now, originally, I had some storage issues pop up, and I really need to get a lot better on that, and I'm working on it. I feel like I'm having major technical difficulties every time I turn around, but that's okay. I will get it all sorted out, and we will come out in the end, right? I am trying to cut this video in half because originally when I filmed it, I was talking almost 2 hours. And that's too much for anybody to sit through with me. Or at least that's the way I feel. I don't want, you know, to ask y'all to have to do that. So this phone, it's like I hit record and everybody wants to text me at the same time. Thankfully, I know nothing's wrong, so I don't have to worry about checking it. But anyway, today we have done all of my hand knit socks, and not all of them, but the ones I have. And I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I have kind of went down memory lane a little bit with my sock knitting journey. And tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, part 2 will be my sock yarn that I plan on knitting up. And the thing about it is, you've seen how many socks I have. You know, there's a lot. So, sorry. Even if I make all of this sock yarn that I'm going to show you in this next video, even if I make it up, I'm not going to wear the socks yet. I mean, I could. I literally could make socks and wear a different pair of socks every day of the year. It doesn't matter. There's no rules to hand making socks or having more than, is normal. I make up the rules where my sock knitting comes in at. But I need to hurry up and get this cardigan finished so that I can make my socks. Or I can make more socks. But anyway, we are going to end this here today. Now, my next upload will be Thursday. And that's when I'll get into the socks. And I'm sorry, my ears are... It feels like I'm talking in a tunnel, and it's driving me insane. Once all this mess fully clears out of my head, I think I'll be okay. But I was talking to my daughter-in-law, and she's still having ear issues from where she got sick. So I do think whatever I got, I did get from them. But anyway, not really sure what time of day you're watching this. So I just hope you have a wonderful afternoon, evening, night, whatever you decide to do with the rest of your time. I hope you enjoy it. And I will see y'all next video. Bye-bye.